people who tell you that every day is an adventure are liars. Most days are predictable and filled with routine tasks and rushed moments. A true adventure stands out in your memory. You know when you've had one, and it's not a trip to your coffee machine between Zoom calls. But adventure can happen in these small everyday moments. You don't actually need to travel to exotic locations or perform daring feats to have an adventure. There's a formula for adventure, and sometimes it starts with something as simple as a puddle. Adventure needs space. You need enough space to be curious, to say yes to things, to say yes to unknown things, uncertain things, ridiculous things, everything. Adventure often lurks off the beaten track in slightly hard to reach places. But even familiar spaces can still be explored. Individual things that are ordinary in their own right can be put together in such a way that they seem extraordinary as a collection. Gumboots are not a part of an adventurer's kit bag. You're not going to see someone climb Everest in them. Your feet move around too much in them, making you doubt your footing and making even the smallest bit of loose ground feel very insecure. The barefoot movement would love them. You can feel every sharp stone underfoot. But man, there's something about splashing through a muddy stream in gumboots that makes you feel like you're living your childhood sense of the hero's journey. And when you use the gumboots to forge rivers and follow the stream to the perfect climbing spot and stand in the water to consider where the hell you're going to belay from, then they truly are essential kit for the backyard adventurer. What would we find when the crags slowly emerged through the reeds? Yes, the first set of climbs are dry. They just have a slightly soggy bottom. But the easy climb? It's surrounded by water. As we splished around the base, I felt disappointed. I really wanted to try this climb, but how do you belay from here? How do you keep the rope and the climbing shoes dry and safe? This twist, this challenge, is often the death of a trip, but it is the birth of an adventure. Adventure doesn't just arrive at your doorstep fully packaged, nicely wrapped. It is something that springs from the curiosity, the pluck, the ingenuity. What if? What if we scrambled to that ledge in our gumboots and belayed from the ledge? That way the rope would hopefully stay dry and we could put our climbing shoes on at the dry point. Is this an easy solution? An elegant solution? Watch this footage and you tell me. Nice ways. Do we need our tiny brushes? Oh, you know why it's cake for that? It's just love to shoo it on there. Okay. was this an adventurous solution? Hell yes. I got to the top of the scramble with a smile on my face and my heart racing. With slightly shaky hands, I put on my climbing shoes and shuffled over to the start of the real climb. Somehow, the climb had more weight. It felt more scary. It felt higher than it had the last time I was here. There were stakes. I didn't really feel like an adventurer. I felt neither brave nor heroic. I actually felt quite afraid. The first couple of moves felt like a step into the unknown. But I also felt exalted. I felt a little bit plucky and a little bit enterprising. The challenge made things that were ordinary in their own right, climbing a bit of rock, belaying your climber, a bit absurd. I got the giggles when, after my climb, I tried to put the gumboots back on in the air before being lowered. I just couldn't get to my shoes. I kept getting the timing of the swing wrong. When I finally collected the second boot and was swinging in the air on a rope in a valley, surrounded by natural beauty as the sun set, I was struck by the absurdity of the simple act of putting a shoe on in a situation like this. It made me ridiculously happy. There was something very satisfying and adventurous about splashing down into the puddle at the end of the day. This was the same puddle that had caused my heart to sink when we spotted it at the beginning of the day. The emotional roller coaster brought about by this simple bit of water. Disappointment when it became clear that the climb wouldn't go as planned. Creative use of the available space and resources. The thrill of finding solutions and alternatives on the fly. Then the trepidation of having to implement the plan. Will it work? Will it be hard? What will happen next? Sure, the danger and the risk weren't high, but I still felt a bit plucky and a bit brave for stepping into the unknown. After navigating the challenges and surprises of the mini adventure, I felt deeply satisfied, even though my only victory was splashing about in a puddle. It's not so much that I had conquered the puddle. I didn't feel victorious. Instead, I felt like a child who had been set free to stomp and romp and play. A mini adventure isn't meant to be a guidebook for a good life, nor a lecture about the importance of challenge and epiphanies, hardship and breakthroughs. But discovery does seem to be an important element of adventures. The adventure often brings about a surprise learning, something that subtly changes you. And I guess I do have a sense of this alteration after our mini adventure, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe the best way to put it is that I feel a new bond with this place. I now know something about what it feels like to fight your way through reeds, what it feels like to go up that bit of rock in gumboots, what it feels like to splash down into a puddle. I was fully present in this space. I know this little piece of space in the world better than I did before. I notice different things about it. I have an awe, an appreciation, and love for it that was built one adventurous moment at a time. As we stepped back through those reeds, I looked back at the puddle that had started it all. I couldn't help but laugh. It was so silly that such a small thing could start an adventure. From trepidation to triumph, from ordinary to extraordinary, our little adventure was all about embracing the surprises right beneath my feet.